The coffee pot trembled in Emma's hand as she overheard the whispered conversation. 3 men in the corner booth, their eyes cold as winter. The moment he orders his usual black coffee, no sugar, we make our move. The Iron Wolves' president was about to walk through that door completely unaware. Without thinking, Emma would lean close and whisper 2 words that would change everything. Don't talk. The bell above the door of the Crossroads diner chimed as Emma Martinez refilled sugar dispensers. Thursday mornings were usually quiet, but today felt different. She'd been working at the Crossroads for 3 years, long enough to know the regulars from the riders. 3 men occupied booth 9, the corner booth with clear sightlines to both entrances. Their leather cuts bore no club patches, the first warning sign. The youngest one kept checking his phone. The older man, built like a linebacker with a scorpion neck tattoo, stared at the main entrance. The third man, lean with a gray beard, tapped his fork in a rhythm that made Emma's skin crawl. That's when she heard it. The moment he orders black coffee, no sugar, we move. Colt always orders the same thing. The second he says it, we finish this. Emma's hand froze. She knew exactly who they were talking about. Colt Reaper Daniels, president of the Iron Wolves Motorcycle Club, stopped at the Crossroads every Thursday at 9:30, regular as clockwork. Always sat at the counter. Always ordered black coffee with 2 eggs. Always left a $20 tip. The rumble of approaching motorcycles vibrated through the windows. 5 bikes pulled into the lot, riders wearing Iron Wolves colors. The man at the front, maybe 50, with silver threading through his dark beard, was unmistakably the club's president. Colt Daniels moved with quiet confidence. 4 men followed him in, taking positions near entrances and exits. Colt walked to his usual spot, nodding to familiar faces. Emma glanced back at booth 9. The 3 men had gone rigid. The scorpion neckman's hand disappeared under his jacket. Colt settled onto his stool. Good morning, folks. Beautiful day for a ride. Emma watched in horror as Colt reached for his menu. The 3 men shifted, hands moving toward jackets. In 30 seconds, Colt would trigger his own execution. Every instinct screamed at her to stay out of it, but she couldn't. Maybe it was the way Colt had helped Martha carry groceries. Maybe because she'd grown up in this town where people looked out for each other. Before she could second-guess herself, Emma moved. Morning, Colt. The usual today. He looked up. You know it, Emma, he said, starting to speak. Emma leaned forward to pour coffee, bringing her face close to his ear. Don't talk, she whispered. Colt's hand froze. He went absolutely still. His eyes snapped to hers, searching her face. Colt slowly lowered his hand and gave her the smallest nod. You know what? I think I'll just take the coffee for now. The 3 men in booth 9 exchanged confused glances. Without the signal, they were lost. Emma stepped back, legs shaking. She'd done it. In booth 9, 3 very dangerous men realized their plan had crumbled. Colt single quotes as fingers wrapped around his coffee cup. Behind his practiced smile, his mind raced. Everything all right, boss? Ghost, his vice president, appeared. Perfect. Ghost, the 3 men in booth 9, you see them? Yeah, been nursing the same drinks for an hour. The waitress appeared near booth 9, positioning herself where she could hear. Colt realized she'd been listening. The 3 men stood, dropping cash. They moved toward the exit. Emma cleared a nearby table when they passed. Colt saw something that made his blood run cold. She recognized them. She was afraid. Ghost have a conversation with our waitress after closing. Find out what she knows. The last customer left at midnight. Emma watched him go, knowing she was now alone with the very people she'd been avoiding. Colt sat at the counter. His men positioned themselves strategically. Emma, come sit with me. She approached on unsteady legs. Tell me why you told me not to talk. I heard them. The 3 men in booth 9. What did you hear? They were waiting for you to say something specific. The moment he orders black coffee, no sugar, we move. Your Thursday routine. Everyone knows you always order the same thing. Colt's jaw tightened. Why warn me? Because they would have killed you, and probably everyone else. You don't even know me. I know you helped Mrs. Martha. I know enough. Colt smiled. You have good instincts, Emma, but they might have gotten you killed. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and went white. She showed him the message. We know who you are. We know where you live. This isn't over. Colt's transformation was instant. Ghost, we're taking her to the compound now. Pack a bag. You're under my protection. What's happening? Colt smiled. Your new friends are about to learn why nobody threatens what's mine. 3 days later, Emma stood in the Iron Wolves compound. Her old life had ended the moment she whispered, don't talk. Colt entered with maps. Emma, we're going to end this tomorrow night. The Demons Run Rally. 5,000 riders. Perfect cover. We've leaked information that you'll be there under my protection. Bait, Emma said flatly. Bait with teeth. They're desperate. We'll have people at every exit. They'll try to isolate you. Draw me out. That's when we'll have them. He withdrew a small device. Transmitter, GPS tracker. You'll never be out of contact. There's risk, but this is the only way. Emma thought about the messages. She couldn't hide forever. What happens after? You saved my life. In my world, that creates bonds that don't break. You'll always have my protection, but protection comes with obligations. When do we start? Colt's smile was sharp. Tomorrow night, the Demons Run rally grounds vibrated with 5,000 motorcycles. Emma moved through the crowd in jeans and leather. Breathe, Colt murmured. I can feel them watching. Southeast corner, Ghost's voice crackled. Scorpion Neck just arrived. In 5 minutes, I'm excusing myself. You'll be alone for 10 minutes. Colt, will I ever be able to go back to being normal? His expression softened. There's no going back, Emma, but that doesn't mean there's no going forward. Ghost's voice crackled. Movement. Colt squeezed her shoulder. It's time. Then he was gone. Emma moved toward the maintenance area. I'm moving to position, she whispered. Copy that, Ghost replied. The area was nearly empty. Nice bikes, aren't they? Emma turned to find Scorpion Neck approaching. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. That's funny, considering you're about to come with me for a conversation about your biker boyfriend. Behind him, the young man emerged. Greybeard cut off her retreat. I don't think so, Emma said. Scorpion Neck reached inside his jacket but froze. His eyes widened. All around them, men in iron wolves' cuts emerged from shadows, weapons drawn. Gentlemen, Colt's voice cut through the air. I believe you wanted to have a conversation. 2 weeks after Demon's Run, Emma sat in the same diner where everything had begun. But nothing was the same. The crossroads had been renovated. You're thinking too hard, Colt said. Just wondering what happened to them. They told us everything. Rival club from Nevada wanted our territory. They were wrong. He reached into his jacket. Inside was a medallion, the Iron Wolves emblem in silver. What does this mean? It means you're family now. Not by blood, but by choice. Protection, money, opportunities, but also expectations, loyalty, discretion. And if I want to leave someday, Colt laughed. You stopped being a civilian the moment you whispered, don't talk. There's no undoing that. But why would you want to? You have respect now, security, purpose. The waitressing job is yours. But you'll have other responsibilities. Sometimes I'll need you to listen, to watch, to be my eyes. Emma touched the medallion. She thought about her old life, the cramped apartment, the endless worry, the invisibility. Now she was visible, protected, important, dangerous. 2 good instincts, Colt said, raising his coffee cup. Emma's heart stopped. Then she understood, not carelessness, but acknowledgement of how far they'd traveled. She raised her cup. 2 good instincts. They drank together in the diner where she'd saved his life and lost her old one, sealing a bond that would define whatever came next. Outside, the highway hummed. Inside, a waitress who was no longer just a waitress sat with a man who commanded an army. Emma had learned the most important rule. Once you were family forever. Whether that was a promise or a threat depended on how you chose to see it. She chose to see it as both.